Depending on who you ask, they'll tell you I'm a legend. From YO to the Veil to the Mongo spot on Creston. Always been 1,000, never ever been a lane. Lay a nigga down for these 3 letters on my chain.
Peace, y'all. Top of the top. What up with it, man? It's your boy, your guy, Hood and all that. And you are now rocking with me on another episode of Tales from the Hood. You know what I need you to do, though, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. You know it helps me grow within the algorithm. I definitely appreciate the love. And with that being said, man, let's get right into this. So, look, firstly, before I even go any further, I just want to make myself extremely clear. This is not an accusation video. This isn't a video where I'm pointing the finger at anybody, placing blame on anybody. I'm not trying to call nobody out or nothing of the sort. This is more so just about bringing awareness to certain things that take place within these label meetings. You know what I mean? And on top of that, obviously, it's a tale. So I'm telling you this tale because it's Tales from the Hood. All right. So let's get into it. So look, as all you guys know, or at least my close supporters know, before I met the Locks, I had the opportunity to sign with numerous people, right? One group being the Lost Boys, and a couple other labels. Now, I was offered a couple of different deals by a few different labels when I was shopping my demo. Now, during the time when I was shopping my demo, I was in a production agreement with this German business guru, right? He was super cool. I'm not going to put his name out there, but, you know, he was trying to venture off into the music industry. And my manager at the time and myself, we kind of like negotiated an agreement with him to where he got to shop my demo to these different labels. And, you know, he got us these meetings or whatever the case be. And we gave him a certain amount of time to, you know, make all of these meetings happen. I'm not going to go too deep into the logistics of the agreement that we had with him, but his job was to get us these label meetings. And one of these label meetings that he landed for us was with J Records and Clive Davis. Now, a week prior to the specific meeting that I'm speaking about, he set up a photo shoot. Now, in this photo shoot, he wanted to basically show that I was not only marketable, but I was also an ambitious, young, hungry artist. Right now, fast forward to the day of the meeting. Now, before the meeting, he kind of prepped me. He like, listen, we're going to go in here. This is what kind of deal we're going to ask for. And, you know, this is how I need you to be. This is, you know, how I need you to respond to him. I need you to be yourself, be charismatic, be ambitious, and just show them that you're hungry and show them that, you know, you're a star or whatever the case be. I said, cool. So we went in there. It was me, the guy that I'm speaking about, and my former manager. Now, upon walking into the label, I'm like paying attention to everything I see. I see different secretaries. I see A&Rs. I see, you know, the big J record sign on the wall. I'm just in awe of the whole situation, period, because I'm a young kid. This is the, you know, one of the first times I'm in an actual record label. This is the things that you dream about as a child, you know what I mean? Especially wanting to pursue a career in music. So I'm just super excited. After walking around the whole office, we was escorted to Clive Davis's office. Now, as we're walking in, like I said, I'm looking at everything. The office is huge. You feel me? He's sitting all the way in the back of the office. So it's at least 15 to 17 feet in between us and him. The guy who I had the production agreement with, he approaches Clive first. So as he's walking to him, they're shaking hands, they're talking or whatever the case be. He turns around and introduces me, and he suggested I walk towards him so he could properly introduce me to Clive. Now, when I walked over to Clive, Clive reached for my hand. I gave him my hand. He shook my hand. But while he was shaking my hand, he did something that I thought was a little weird, but I didn't say nothing about it. He held my hand for like 12 seconds and just looked at me. Now, I don't know exactly what he was doing. I didn't think too much of it at the time, but it was a little bugged out because I'm like, why? What is this guy doing? Why is he holding my hand for so long? I don't know if he was trying to check my energy. I don't know if he was feeling the vibe. I don't know what he was doing, but he held my hand for a little while. After that, I turned away and we began to play the music and discuss the things that we went to the meeting for. I think we played about 4 songs. The whole idea before the meeting was to just go there with the best 4 songs that we had and the songs that we thought would give us the best opportunity of landing a deal. Now, after each song, he seemed pretty excited. He liked the music. He liked the direction in which we were attempting to go in, as far as the idea that we have for marketing or whatever the case be. Now, I say probably like in the middle of the meeting, he wanted me to approach him and he asked me a question. He was like, yo, what do you like really want out of the game? Like, what are you attempting to get into the music industry for? I said, to be famous and to buy my mom's a house, to get rich. And he just started, laughing, not really laughing, but like smirking, giggling. And then he reached for my arm again, but instead of holding my hand this time, he kind of like grabbed me by my wrist and like held on to my arm for a good little minute and was just looking at me. And he was like, that's a good boy. Like, and then he was looking at the guy who I had the agreement with. He was like, that's a good kid. That's a good guy, man. And he was just holding on to my wrist. Again, in my mind, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga doing? Why the fuck he keep touching me and shit? You know what I mean? Like, this nigga, he's too touchy for me. I don't know what the fuck going on. And he's mad old and shit, too. No disrespect, but he was an older guy. He had to be at least in his, I think, like 70s at this time. So, being around older guys, they're a little, depending on who the person is, older people are a little touchy-feely and, they communicate a little differently than, younger people. So I didn't think too much of it when he was doing that shit, you feel me? So, whatever the case be, we wrapped the meeting up. It lasted probably for about 45 minutes, tops. Wrapped the meeting up. Now, on the way out of the office, I'm not going to lie to you, I was super ecstatic. I'm like, yo, what's about to go down? We just wrapped up a fucking label meeting with Clive Davis. Oh, yeah, it's lit. It's going down, man. I'm out of here after this. Now, as we was getting on the elevator, about to exit the building, I'm telling dude, I'm like, hey, how do you think the meeting went? He was like, everything was cool. I just kind of wish they were more willing to, give us more of the things that we were asking for. But aside from that, everything was cool. Now, he's like, how did you feel about it? I'm not going to lie to you, man. Dude was a little creepy to me. He like, how so? I said, look, man, he was a little too touchy-feely for my liking, to be honest with you. But I don't know. Maybe that's him. But it was weird for me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you no bullshit. He was like, nah, I just think that's the way he is. It's the way he communicates, etc., etc. I'm like, hey, maybe you're right. You know more about this shit than I do. But, ultimately, we never landed the deal because, like I said, they weren't willing to give us what we was asking for, and we weren't willing to take what they were offering. But looking back at things now from the lenses of an adult and from the perspective of someone that's older, I can honestly say that I can see how easily it would be for an underage artist to be manipulated by a record exec if they're not accompanied by an adult, and not only an adult, but by someone who cares about their well-being. Because, dude, not going to cap, I was in a very vulnerable state being at the age that I was, and 9 times out of 10, younger artists like myself at that time, you just want to get on. You feel me? You don't know the ins and outs of the business. You don't know how a lot of these people are predators. You don't know that, the psychological games. I'm not going to say that they play with artists, but the things, it's mental warfare and psychological warfare, excuse me. You don't know all the tactics that these people use. You don't know how dirty the game are. You're so naive. I think that's the best word to describe how you would be as an artist that's kind of green. And when I say vulnerable, I really mean vulnerable, because people will do anything to get on. when you're young and you like, yo, you know what? I want to be a star. I want to be a celebrity. I'm trying to get rich. I want to be famous. That's the only thing you know. You don't know that there's sharks out here that will eat you up in this water and, that don't really care about anything but themselves and generating revenue. So I'm just glad that I had, two adults with me that, wouldn't let me fall victim to anything like that. And I was fortunate enough to be in a company of good people. But, unfortunately, everyone isn't surrounded with those type of people. And, things happen to some artists on their way to the top. But I just wanted to share that experience with you guys as far as like the meeting and how it went. Like I said, I'm not accusing him of anything. Maybe that was just his way of communicating. Maybe he's a touchy-feely person. I just thought it was a little bugged out. I wasn't used to people communicating like that and grabbing people and touching people, holding people's hands and grabbing people by their wrists and all that type of shit. It was just a little creepy to me. So it made me uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And until next time, man, salute.